Marketing experts spend billions trying to perfect their message. But what if the most powerful marketing move is to barely say anything at all? I recently discovered a fascinating story about a notebook company that completely transformed their business by deleting almost every word from their website.
That's such a counterintuitive approach. What made them take such a dramatic step?
Well, picture this. They were selling a simple notebook, but their website was drowning in phrases like optimized productivity system and scientifically designed layout. Their analytics showed that potential customers were literally getting exhausted just reading about it.
Hmm. Sounds like they fell into that classic trap of overcomplicating something basic.
Exactly right. And here's where it gets interesting. Someone on their team had this brilliant idea to look through their customer feedback, but not the formal reviews or complaints. They focused on casual emails from satisfied customers.
Oh, I bet those told a completely different story than their marketing copy.
You know what's fascinating? Almost every customer said the exact same thing. I like this notebook because it helps me think. No mention of systems, no talk of frameworks, just this beautifully simple statement about the product's actual impact.
That must have been quite the wake up call for their marketing team.
Oh, it was huge. And here's where they did something that honestly gives me chills. They completely stripped down their website. I mean, we're talking about removing practically everything. In today's world of information overload, that's like walking into a board meeting in complete silence.
Well, that's a pretty bold move. What do they actually keep on the website?
Just four words: a notebook for thinking. That's it. No bullet points, no features list, no comparison charts. And you know what's wild? Their conversion rate increased by 23% in the first month.
Those numbers are pretty compelling, but surely there must have been some internal resistance to such a dramatic change.
Oh my goodness, yes. The internal debates were intense. Their marketing team was especially concerned. You know, these are people who've built careers on crafting perfect messaging. One executive actually said, "We're going to look like we're not even trying."
So, what convinced them to take the leap?
Well, they ran some A/B tests that showed something fascinating. The simpler their message got, the longer people stayed on their website. It's like, um, you know, when you're at an art gallery, and the pieces with the longest descriptions often get the least attention.
That's such an interesting parallel. It's almost like over explanation can signal insecurity.
Exactly. And here's something really compelling. Studies show that the average consumer is exposed to between 4,000 and 10,000 brand messages every day. It's created this kind of attention fatigue.
That's making me think about how brands might need to adapt as information overload gets worse.
Well, that's where this gets really interesting. The company found that their approach wasn't just about selling notebooks, it was about respecting people's time and intelligence. Their customer satisfaction scores actually went up by 31% after the change.
So, in a way, they were selling trust as much as they were selling notebooks.
You know what's fascinating? This approach has historical precedents. Like, consider Ernest Hemingway's famous six-word story: "For sale, baby shoes, never worn." It communicates so much by saying so little.
That's really making me think about the power of suggestion versus explanation.
And here's where we can learn something really valuable. In a world where everyone's shouting, sometimes a whisper can be the most powerful thing. The company's CEO later revealed that their marketing costs dropped by 40% while their organic reach increased.
Those are some pretty impressive metrics. Do you think this approach could work for other types of products?
Well, here's what's particularly interesting. They've actually inspired a whole movement of what's being called minimalist marketing. Companies in industries from software to fashion are experimenting with stripping away complexity.
Though I imagine it would be harder for more technical products.
You'd think so, but get this, even some tech companies are following suit. There's this fascinating case study of a cloud storage company that increased their signups by 15% just by reducing their homepage copy by 80%.
Sounds like we're witnessing a real shift in how brands communicate.
And perhaps that's the biggest lesson here. Sometimes the most effective way to communicate isn't to say more, but to say just enough and then trust your audience to connect the dots.
Well, on that note, maybe we should take their advice and leave some space for our listeners to think.
You know what? That's exactly right. Sometimes the best way to make a point is to know when to stop talking.